Liberty Falls was released with the launch of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on October 25th, 2024. Taking place in the West Virginia town of, well, Liberty Falls, the Thrustodon Aeronautics Model 23 returns as a map's wonder weapon. Last seen in Black Ops 2's Transit, the jet gun returns remastered for Black Ops 6. No longer will the gun explode after shooting it for too long. It also gains an alternate fire where you can start a mini charge up to create a massive explosion around you. The Abomination returns as this map's elite enemy. Returning to its normal size after a giant appearance in MWZ, the Abomination acts just like how it did in Forsaken. Manglers would once again return as this map's special enemy, and Vermin would also appear as the max ammo round enemies. Spawning in, I immediately turn on the Rampage Inducer and build up points in spawn. After making about 7k, I run into the bowling alley to get stamina up and to continue building points. Once I get about 13k points, I start opening up the map. Once I get into the church, I activate this machine and pack-a-punch my GS-45. Then on round 10, I throw a thermo nade at the zombie head on top of the church to cause zombies to start falling from the sky. The reason for this is that eventually I'll get an ether tool from this, along with a few score streaks and some points. But since I did it at round 13, I'll always get a blue ether tool, and that'll save me about 1500 salvage, which is extremely nice. Next, I wait in a cemetery for a while until a zombie named Dennis Riffle spawns in. He was the church's groundskeeper. Good guy, but unfortunately his luck didn't stick around and he turned. But my luck is turning around because he died with his shed key on him, so I use his key to open up, well, his shed, and in there is a handbrake. So after getting that, I run down the street and grab a water valve. Next up, I head to the bank roof and open up this barricade. Once I drop down, I get a prompt to open up a door. And normally to open up this door, you'd actually have to open up the bank, but since we don't want to open up the bank so the high round strat actually works, you can do this to get around it. So by doing this, it opens up the ice cream shop and I can just go into the bank and get Jug. And I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna bring in a soda fountain, because why not, it might give me something good. So when I went to go buy PhD, I popped it and it gave me Deadshot, which is really nice because it doesn't actually have a perk machine on this map. Normally to get it, you'd have to wait to round 25 or by doing a little side quest, but this is nice. I mean, it's not that nice because I'm not going to be using any gun that's going to give me a headshot, but I mean, hey, like last time, a free perk is a free perk. Now with that water valve I got earlier, I can place it in this panel in the bowling alley. Doing this, I will start a step where I have to start cranking it, and in this I'm completely immobile and I can't use any guns. So after cranking it for a little bit, it will spit out a water pressure gauge. Now I have to wait for a mangler to spawn in, and when one spawns in, I shoot off his cannon so it drops down and I can pick it up. Using this, I break into an electronics store to grab some wires, and now I can finally build a jet gun. Honestly, I never really thought the jet gun would return. It's completely welcome, you know, it's a fucking amazing in this game. It genuinely might be one of the best wonder weapons of all time, which is insane because it went from being one of the worst, and you know, people always say if you just learn it, it's good. I've learned it, still not a good gun. If I have to use a glitch to make it work in transit, it's not good. But anyways, now that I have the jet gun, I can start grabbing the LTG parts. The first one is in the comic book store. The next one is in this building near Dr. Piotr, one of Blancard's favorite eggheads, and reportedly was not just book smart, but street smart, which, you know, yeah, give him credit for that. And the final one is in the church. Once I grab those three parts, I head back to the bank roof to assemble the LTG. Then I place it under this ether cloud in a cemetery to begin a defense. After the defense is over, it will spawn in an HVT, being either a mangler or an abomination. Once it spawns in, I can grab this ether canister back in the church and place it near this trap. Now I gotta weaken the HVT. Once it's weakened, I bring it to the trap and then turn it on. Then when it's in the trap's radius, I kill it and its soul will be brought into the ether canister. Then I pick that canister back up, bring it back to the church, and put it back in that machine I activated at the start. Now that machine will spit out a Strauss counter, and now I have to find 3 projectiles around the map. Once I find them, I go near them, and then I'll look at the Strauss counter and look at the color on it. If the projectile is red, then I'll turn the counter green, and if it's green, I'll turn it red, and if it's yellow, I'll keep it yellow. After doing that, they'll shoot out this like little beam onto another canister, and I must do the same HVT step again. Start the defense, kill the HVT of the trap, and then bring the filled canister back to the church. And now you may be wondering why the hell I did all that. Well, that was the entire main quest. Well, not the entire, I still have to do one final lockdown in the church. In here, I must simply just survive for a while until 2 more HVTs spawn in. Very, very easy and simple main quest, but now you may be asking again, well, why the hell did I do the main quest? You know, why didn't I do it around 100 for like a little around 100 quest kind of thing? Well, if you do the quest, you get a few tier 3 pack crystals and some legendary ether tools. And I was thinking about doing it at around 100, you know, like for the bit, but being able to save like 100,000 points and God knows how much salvage by just doing like a lockdown is insanely nice. And you even get a ray gun, which I really wish I could pick up, but you know, for some reason, just no meal kick, which I don't fucking understand why we probably have to wait like 4 months for meal kick. But anyways, so now that I'm set up, I simply just train till around 40 like last time. Liberty Falls' spawn room has got to be one of the biggest spawn rooms of all time, if not the biggest. Off the top of my head, I literally cannot think of a single spawn room that's as big as this. This like town is essentially almost the same size as the spawn room. It's incredible to train in with a jet gun and the Sally and Forth. You are essentially like, you're good. Like, you're gonna be fine. Whenever a vermin round would begin, I just run into the jet gun room and just sit in there. Whenever one would pop up, I just left click and they die. And that'd make them go by extremely fast. Now at round 40, I begin the high round strat. I head into the bank and go atop this table, and since I kept the main bank door closed by doing that little thing earlier, zombies will only climb the counter in front of me. So now all I gotta do is just tap fire the jet gun so I use as little ammo as possible, and it should kill every zombie in front of me. Now for manglers though, they can become a bit of a problem, since if they climb up they have a chance to hit me and throw me off the thing. So if a bunch of manglers pull up, the jet gun isn't really gonna handle them. It doesn't do that much damage to them, and if like 4 or 3 pop up, it's going to become a big problem. So the solution for this is energy mine. I'll let one come out because the jet gun will stun it for a while, so it won't become that much of a problem. But when the second one pulls up, I do throw down an energy mine. It won't kill them immediately, but it will damage them enough to where by the time they're really going to become a problem, the run will end, or the jet gun will actually finally kill them. Abominations though, well, they're not going to be dying to energy mines, so that's where mutant injections come back into the scene. If I hear one spawn in, I just pop it and then run to this window. Seemingly, most of the zombies spawn within this one window, so I'll just shoot a shot from the cannon into it, then melee, and then rinse and repeat. By far, this strat is 10, maybe like 20 times easier than Terminus. It's still a challenge, don't get me wrong. You still gotta pay attention, but it is so easy. Now at round 51, I will say I was getting a bit tired, so I went ahead and save and quitted. Now you may invalidate the run because of that. If you do, I don't really care because I was tired and wasn't going to force myself to play. But it's fine, next day I hopped back on and everything went as normal. And that's all that really happened. There's not much more to say. The strat was extremely simple and easy, so let's just get onto the tier list. Liberty Falls has a map that had a pretty turbulent upbringing. You know, everyone was hyped for BO6 as soon as it was revealed. You know, people were saying Terminus was looking insane, and then Liberty Falls got revealed at COD Next, and ooh, man, people could not stop bitching. It was quite a weird time. I stayed away from any BO6 gameplay because I wanted everything to be a surprise when I finally got my hands on the game, so I wasn't really too paying attention to what was going on. I did look at a few gameplay here and there, and you know, honestly, I wasn't really seeing the problem. You know, it didn't look like a multiplayer map to me or a Warzone map. It looked like a zombie map because, I mean, there were zombies on it. It was a tight, close quarters kind of thing. So it was a bit strange at the time, but thank God, people's perception of this map completely 180'd as soon as the game dropped. It is insane. If you go back to what people were saying when this map was revealed to now, it is night and day. People fucking love this map, and I love this map too. It's fucking amazing. It is by far one of the easiest and most casual maps to play, and I mean that wholeheartedly as a good thing because I genuinely think Liberty Falls will go down with Kino as being the best beginner starting maps of all time. It is genuinely an amazing map. Its quest, while not anything special, it's just 2 steps in a defense, is actually quite fun to speedrun and just do repeatedly because of its simplicity. I got the badge to do it under, the calling card to do it in under 30 minutes, and it was very fun. I want to actually do it again and again to try and get a lower time because it's just that fun to do. The jet gun returning and the map making it fucking incredible is insane. I'm so glad for that. It is just so fun. Blancard and all the stuff he says, Panos and whatever the fuck he's doing is also a blast. I actually am really happy to see where that goes. Overall, Liberty Falls is a genuinely great map. The layout, the vibe, just everything about it is like, there's nothing I can fault the map on because everything it tries to do is doing extremely well. The side quests are also just absolutely great. I don't think it's one of my favorite maps of all time, but it's definitely a map that if I want to think about playing, I will most likely immediately get on. I do still like Terminus more because it's more my kind of map. So obviously, for the second time in a row, the map is going in love. I fucking love Liberty Falls. It's a fantastic map. And so far, they are 2 for 2 on just amazing maps on BO6, and I am really hoping they continue that streak. So, round 100 was hit in 2 hours and 42 minutes, and since for some dumbass reason, exfil still only spawned on rounds that end with a 1 or a 6, I had to go one more for round 101. And just like every person who's exfilled in the history of exfilling ever, I pop my mutant injection, kill all the zombies, and head off in the helicopter, ending the Liberty Falls round 100.